Whew. All right, Shalom. I'd like to start up by saying, Call Halayim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Harakak Wadash, my double honors to the other apostles of the great millstone and my elder Hereward as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth, sincerity, and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, I'm coming out to Anban Yasharala from the Lions and the Yasharala camp, and this is just a go with the flow impromptu, go with the spirit. It's dealing with as we there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. As we focus on these prophecies, one main thing we need to pay close attention to is ourselves and where we are in the spirit. Because if we don't pay attention and focus on that, we can find ourselves at a dead end, thinking that we've been traveling the right path and we've been going the wrong direction all the time. It's very easy to slip down, and the devil is so deceptive that he'll have you thinking that you're on the right path and you're going about it all totally wrong. That's why we should be at the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai and not at the mercy of sin. Because sin can start to disguise its ways as something good or a necessity or it just form its way in form itself in a way that it's hard for you to purge away from yourself. Um, yeah, it's like yeah, there's so many ways to be distracted or um thrown off or to deceived, and we gotta make sure we pay close attention to ourselves and make sure that we're in the faith. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and serve His purpose for the hopeful elect, ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. In 2 Corinthians 13:5, it says, "Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own self. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahweh Shai is in you, except ye be reprobates." Right. So unless if you're a reprobate, the Lord isn't with you. But some of us may be walking around as reprobates or not knowing that we're reprobates or in a reprobate state of mind and not even knowing it. You got to stay close, pay close attention to what entices you. What are the things you indulge in? What are the things that you may fall a victim to that'll pull you in the wrong direction? We always got to stay focused on those things. We cannot think, just because we in the truth that we got it. We done already made it because we're the ones that's going to be more of a attacked the most by deception and by perverse spirits. You know, you find yourself on the wrong end of the street. You know, but we got to examine ourselves, man. And the closer we get to the end, the more we're going to have to examine ourselves. The closer we get to being like Yahweh Shai, the more focus on ourselves we're going to have to do as being examples of what righteousness is. What are we partaking in? Because we become a skeptical on the earth because what is it? It breaks it down in what is this so Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, where he says his ways are of the Most High. He claims to be the Most High's son, or he claims that the Most High is his father. Let us prove his ways. Matter of fact, let me find that, because people are going to continue to find fault in us any way that they can. Um, uh, okay, so we have to examine ourselves because we're being examined. All right, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 19. It says, "Let us examine him." This is the wicked. It says, "With deceit, despitefulness, and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience." All right, let me read it again. I don't know what just happened on my phone, but this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 19. It says, "Let us examine him with patience, with despitefulness, and torture, right? Because that's how we're being examined by the wicked, and to believe it or not, that's how we're being examined by those that are trying to come in the fold. Because you know, when people are coming into the truth, they're at a very vulnerable state where like they want to hold on to something, but they also want to dissect it to make and try to, you know what I'm saying? They want to try to prove it's wrong, and if they can't prove it, then they'll be accepting to it, or prove that it's right by looking for anything that they may find wrong. So that's why we always have to make sure that we keep our garments clean. We got to constantly endure and make sure we keep our garments clean. It says, "Let us examine him with this this spitefulness." Let me turn my flashlight on my phone. All right, it says, let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Right, when we are respected by our own saying, we have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that he's going to prove us. You know. Let me go up a little bit further. Verse 17, it says, "Let us see if his works be true. Let us prove what shall happen in the end of him." And we got to hold on all the way to the end to prove what shall happen. And Yahweh Shem Shah is going to prove that. You know? It's like going back to 2 Corinthians 13:5, it said, "Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith," because we're being examined as others. So we have to see ourselves. Sometimes it's hard for us to see ourselves as others see us. But sometimes we have to really focus and do that, because we might see ourselves as one way, and 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 to be something totally different that the whole world sees that we're not able to see. So that's why we have to dissect ourselves more than anybody else would, proving to our own selves that we're not reprobates, you know, or or not in that reprobate spirit. Like this a tough lesson right here. It's a lot going on right now, but things need to be said, and things need to be done, and people need to realize how serious this shit is, and how easy it is to get caught up in some bullshit if you're not paying attention to what you got going on, not only in your actions but in your mind. What do you spend your time thinking about? Because if you spend your time thinking about certain things, you got to make sure our thoughts are as righteous as they can be. We're gonna have negative thoughts in our mind, but we choose the positive one. That's what the elder told me, man. You choose. Those thoughts are gonna be there, but you choose the righteous one. That's what you got to do. You got to choose the righteous thoughts. You know. Next scripture I want to get is Lamentations 3:40. This is Lamentations chapter 3, verse 40, and it says, "Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord." Right? We gotta search and try our ways and make sure all our ways are righteous. Like all the things that we're gonna sin. But what is our lifestyle? That's the point. What type of lifestyle are we trying to live? Are we gonna appease the flesh, or are we gonna afflict the flesh and appease the spirit? That's the question that we need to wake up and ask ourselves every morning after we give thanks for us waking up to do another day to tear down this kingdom. We're going to ask ourselves, what are we going to do today? Are our actions going to be the action to appease the flesh, or are our actions today going to be the action to appease the spirit? And we have to make that choice every morning we open our eyes and start a new day. Every day we wake up, it's a new journey. Mind you, it carries on for the things that we did yesterday, but every day is a new start, a new beginning. Every single day we wake up is a new beginning. Because what does that mean? That means every day we wake up, we have the opportunity to be a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday, to push towards perfection. And as long as we stay focused on that, we become examples to everybody else on what righteousness is. It's going to be a struggle. It ain't going to be easy. It wasn't easy for Yahweh Shai, but he did it. And he created a doorway for us to do it through faith. Oh, let me get James. Start there. All right, this is James chapter 1, verse 21. It says, "Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul." Right? The engrafted word is that we're able to save our souls, and that's what we got to stay focused on, and to lay apart all filthiness and naughtiness and receive with meekness, man. We can't begin to puff ourselves up as the Lord starts to lift us up. We can't start to puff ourselves up, because that's when sin comes into the doorway. The next thing you know, you find yourself doing some stupid shit. Verse 22, it says, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own self." Right? Because just because you hear and understand what's being spoken, if you're not applying this to your lifestyle, you're deceiving yourself. If you're not applying what you teach about every day to your lifestyle, you're deceiving yourself. And you're around here thinking that's because you say the right things on camera and you say the right things on video and all that, and doing these lessons, and you pull out the right precepts and scriptures and all that. And if you're not actually applying this to your lifestyle for real, you're deceiving yourself. Well, hold on, let me get this shit. It's like your Jeremiah. Is it Jeremiah? Let me see. That's some real shit. You be deceiving your damn self. And that's also, it's so easy to fall in deception of your damn self. Damn it. Okay, this is it. Jeremiah 17:9, it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?" Right. Your mind is deceitful. That's why according to 1 Corinthians chapter 2, you have to be the spiritual man that has the mind of Yahweh Shai. Because the natural man that has the mind of this world is going to be deceived within itself. His whole life is going to be a deception, because things that he feels like is a reality and a purpose is actually vanity. That's why the scripture says a carnal mind is enmity with the Most High, because a carnal mind is vain. It's going to do things according to the flesh, and that's separate from Yahweh by Shem Shai. So understanding that your mind, right, is the most deceitful thing. That's why the struggle is such a battle against, you know what I'm saying, self. It's the Lord, it's the Spirit of the Lord that's within us that's battling against self, the flesh, the character that we are in this body. That's what the Lord is wrestling with. And we can find ourselves in deception, being deceived, right? By not being or operating in the correct state of mind. You know? So back to James verse 1 and 22, it says, But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Right? So like a man looking in the mirror. I'm looking in the mirror. I see this man of the Lord right here. I see what the Lord has done to me. As soon as I walk away from that mirror, I forget about all that. Or that's forgotten about. It says, For he that beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. All right? But who also looketh into the perfect law of your liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deeds. Right? You know, remembering, or if you're looking in the mirror and the Lord is exposing all the perverseness, wickedness that this world has put upon you, that he's taken away, then you walk away and forget about all that. And now you out here thinking you're righteous, deceiving your own self. It works both ways. So your deeds are going to manifest, not only your deeds out here teaching, but your deeds when nobody's around. When nobody can see what you're doing, what type of lifestyle you're living, when nobody can see, you know, the skeletons that are in anybody's closet. What type of behavior are you partaking in when nobody else of the truth is around? Are you still living the righteous? You know what I'm saying? Verse 26. It says, If any man among you seem to be righteous, and bridle not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is in vain. All right, this is the point. It says, Pure religion is undefiled before Yahweh, and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Keep himself unspotted from the world. The world is going to attack you constantly. But you have to show the world that separation. You have to show that world the separation, man. You know? Let me get 1 Corinthians 11 and 20. Let me start at 1 real quick, then I'm going to jump down to 21. But this is Paul speaking right here. He says, Be ye followers of me, even I also am followers of Yahushua. That's what you want to be able to say to anybody. Do what I do. Watch what I'm doing. Because what I'm doing is in the name and in the footsteps of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. That's why Paul was confident in saying, Be ye followers of me as I am followers of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. You know? It says, Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. All right? You know? So keep the ordinance as we're being taught by the elders, keep those ordinances that are being delivered unto us, and we walk in those same precious footsteps. Let's skip down to verse 21. And it says, 1 Corinthians 11 and 21, it says, wait a minute, 20. When ye come together, therefore, unto one place, this is not this is not to eat the Lord's Supper. All right, this is going into drinking of the cup unworthily. But spiritually, we come together as one into one place, eating together. You know, it says, "For in eating, everyone taketh before other." Yeah. So sorry about that interruption. It says, this is First Corinthians 11:21. It says, "For in eating, everyone taketh before other his own supper, and one is hungry and another is drunken." Okay. What? Have ye not houses to eat and to drink in? Or despise ye the church of Yahweh, and shame them that have not? What shall I say to you? Shall I praise you in this? I praise you not. For I have received of the Lord that which is what also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahweh Shai, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread. Right. All right. It says, and when he was given thanks, he brake it and said, "Take, eat, this is my body, which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me." And we do that during the Passover, but we do that spiritually, right? By following in his footsteps and gathering the sheep and giving them the hidden manna to eat. You know? The same bread that Yahushua gave us is giving us to eat. We're breaking bread with the next individual that's kind of sit at the table with Yahushua and sup with him. You know? Because the only way you're going to make it to Yahweh is to sup with Yahushua. But we can't sup with him in vain. We can't sit at the table of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua and have vain, malicious, perverse thoughts going through our mind. Not only that'll happen, but letting those thoughts render our members into members of unrighteousness. But we have to purge everything that may make us fall short of the glory. We have to purge that out of us through the Spirit. That's when the fear of the Lord comes in, man. The fear of the Lord, you have to be literally scared. Like, if I do this, yo, just example into myself, man. Um, I was supposed to be. This is a testimony. I was supposed to be when we were supposed to have a conference one night. This was years ago, and I wasn't officially second in command, but like the camp used to kind of like, at that point in time, used to look at me in that type of way, even though I wasn't, I didn't have that title or not. It's just like I used to take certain initiative for certain things, and just whatever. But that particular night, I was more focused on getting with this girl and getting some box. And so when the Akim called me to do the conference and Bible certain scriptures we were supposed to go over, I didn't answer my phone. I was so focused on being with this woman. And I woke up shot. That's how serious. And people think because like they be involved in perverse things and nothing has happened to them that the Lord ain't paying attention. I know for a fact 100% that the Lord paying attention. I have a testimony to prove it. So don't think just because you're out here doing some shit and ain't nothing happened to you that the Lord ain't watching. Man, when these perverse thoughts come into anybody's mind, that's when the scriptures work, but the fear of the Lord, like the judgment of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua should kick in at that point, and you should be like, you know what? Fuck these thoughts. Let me pick and choose the correct ones to let dwell in my head. Let me choose the correct ones I want to manifest into actions. That's what it's about. Um, verse 26, 1 Corinthians 11:26. It says, "For as often as ye eat the bread and drink this cup, ye do show the Lord's death till he come." Right? Showing everybody the sacrifice that Yahweh made to bring us back to Yahweh. All right? "Wherefore, whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord." Because you can cause somebody else to go off by your unworthy actions. You gotta stay focused. "But let a man examine himself." Let me read it again. "But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of the bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily eateth and drinketh damnation to himself, not discerning the Lord's body." Right. So you choosing perverse things, you're not discerning the Lord's body. There's a form of discernment you don't have, and that comes with the Holy Spirit. That's why you got to make sure we're always staying in the Spirit. Nobody's perfect, but we got to make sure we monitor our lifestyle and what you know what I'm saying. "For this cause many are weak and sickly among you, and many sleep." Right. It's a sickness, man. A disease is a disease of the mind, which controls the functions of the body. You know, it's a sickness. "For if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged." Right. We gotta judge ourselves. Therefore, we don't have to come to the judgment because we're judging ourselves. Like, you know what? I can't do this. I shouldn't be doing this. Boom, boom, cut it out. Then we don't have to worry about the judgment of Yahweh by Shimon Shah. "But when we are judged, we are chastened of the Lord, that we should not be condemned with the world." Right. So when we are judged, the chastisement of the Lord is the judgment. So you don't have to live that condemnation that he's going to bring and that destruction that he's going to bring on the whole world. So that's resisting all forms of temptation. All right. Let me close it out with this. This is Ephesians chapter 6. I'm going to start at verse 10. All right, my battery's going low, so let me finish it off with this. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might." Because the Spirit of the Lord is more powerful than any type of deceptive spirit that can come in your mind and try to alter your way of thinking to try to force you into transgression. The power of the Lord is way more powerful than that, no matter how tough it may seem. Verse 11, "Put on the whole armor of Yahweh." That's the point. We have to have on that whole armor so we're fully covered. You know what I'm saying? There's no openings in your armor where the devil's fiery dart can pierce through. It says that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, the trickery. All right. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickednesses in high places." And that's what we wrestle against. So a carnal mind is not going to stand a chance against that. You got to have, this is spiritual wickedness. So you have to be submerged in spiritual righteousness. Verse 13, it says, "Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Yahweh, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness." And that's the only way we're going to be able to defend against this spiritual warfare that we're fighting right now. It says, "And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace." Right? It says, "Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked." All the trickery that the devil Esau is coming with, bruh. They're putting these perverse spirits out here like causing our people to go astray. You got to be fully suited up in order to fight this battle. You can't come with half armor on. It says, take the helmet of salvation and the sword of truth, which is the word of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Pray always with all prayer and supplication in the spirit. You got to constantly pray. That's a part of examining yourself. When you find something that's wrong on your garment, ask the Lord to remove it. Please purge this from me, Lord, so I can walk righteously. It says, praying always with all power and supplication in the spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. Because we know we're an example. So we have to not only watch over the saints, but be mindful of our decisions and our actions on this earth, because we're being watched. You know, Lord, willing this lesson to edify and serve His purpose for the hopeful elect, the ones that truly believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, with that like say Ka Halayim, La Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakakadash, my Amath. Double honors to the other apostles, the great millstone, my elder Herawan as well. Salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth. And peace and blessing to the men and women and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.